fought it long enough, now let's stop to face it. It's written on the wall, written all over our faces. Don't be scared, girl, come over here. No need to heed permission, but that's in position. Only you, do me like you do, girl, you the truth. Magic City with the moves. You better f me like you got something to prove. Girl, come show me like I'm the only one. Turn the lights out, I'm gonna take you down under these sheets and let you ride me all night. Girl, I gotta hear you scream, hey, you scream. When the lights out, come alive when the night's out. I don't wanna see you anymore, I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. Ain't no need to leave the lights on, I'ma f you with the lights out, I'ma love you till your lights out. On your head, surfing in your wet. Girl, I ain't stopping till you scream your neck, your back. When I'm taking you down, we gotta go round, still wanna pull out. When the lights out, when the lights out. When the lights out, come alive when the night's out. I don't wanna see you anymore, I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. Ain't no need to leave the lights on, I'ma fuck you with the lights out, I'ma love you till your lights out. When the lights out, come alive when the night's out. I don't wanna see you anymore, I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. Ain't no need to leave the lights on, I'ma fuck you with the lights out, I'ma love you till your lights out.
Smooth talk, R&B, and soul. This your boy Q Christopher in the building. It's Thursday, April 26th. Along with my co-host, Tati Dani, and Miss Anais.
I really like that word, coast.
Coast, you like it? I told you. Shout out to Ryan Seacrest.
Oh.
Well, welcome to the show. You're just going to get right into it. Usually I ask my co-host how their week has been. I really don't care at this point right now because nobody's in the building. He is somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having
So
me.
excited
Thank you for coming.
I'm excited to be here.
It took you a minute to get in the building.
Come a little closer to the mic.
Yeah, fix your mic.
Tati, she's been trying to
bring
get
it
me here
closer
for a
to you.
minute, so
Yes.
that's the homie.
That's what's up. So how was the week for you, man?
My week?
Yeah,
My week's been cool.
yeah. You watch any of the NBA playoffs? I see you rocking the Bulls.
I've been doing a lot of work
Lot
at
of
home
work.
on my brand
Work
and
previously.
everything. Yeah,
That's what's up. I like that.
I don't watch TV. I don't really indulge in a lot of culture. I watch Instagram.
Watch Instagram.
I mean,
can we
it
talk
is
about
the
that?
news feed nowadays.
That's
So
just everybody's TV.
Yeah.
And I was
But
just
can
saying
we-
the other day, actually, that sooner or later there won't be any Fox 5 News and Channel
No.
7 News because
It
everything
won't.
is on social media.
can't
You
wait
get it
for
to our
Fox 5
phones
to
before.
You know, YouTube is
And it
coming out
is.
with their own channel too, right? Like,
Yeah.
or like there are people, like I work some event where someone has their own like TV
I got you.
network within YouTube.
Yeah,
But
and Google too.
But I also just making a blog post about how social media can be unhealthy. I feel like especially if you're creative, maybe can you touch on that? Do you feel like I feel like it's a catch-22, I feel like it's the biggest catch-22 out right now. It's the hottest, and there's no running from it. And you know what a catch-22 is, right? It's like also good and it's also bad. Like, you can really make a living off of it.
Yeah.
Like you said,
Yeah.
you can use it for your brand, for inspiration. But all that looking and stuff, studies have proven that it can be hurtful.
Yeah,
How do you
absolutely.
feel about that?
Social media in general, like I just think the internet is a great place. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time because it's anything is accessible, you know. So you have a lot of people who build this whole facade around their lives and everything. Me personally, social media is just a way to engage with my audience. I don't really care too much about Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, unless I got something going on with me. You ain't gonna see me talking out of my neck. Like, people just be on social media just to be on there and be seen and this and that. But like, if you ain't got nothing to present, why you like? What
Yeah.
do you?
And there's also the positive takeaway. I mean,
Yeah.
you're on there on social media to look and see who can inspire you, whether it's an artist or an entrepreneur who's about to purchase a building. Like, you get inspiration from it. You take away what you want to take away. I mean, you can't help but to see the ratchetness on your time feed, but you also follow and unfollow what you want to see, what you're exposed to.
I don't think it's just ratchetness.
That's
though.
valid.
It's
In a
assortment.
sense, like, you get what you like. You take what you can get from it. But I think that on the flip side of that, a lot of times we compare ourselves based on other people's journey,
Absolutely.
because they're able to show only what they want us to see. We don't see the background.
Yeah.
And so that's how a lot of times, people look at artists or different people that they feel have quote unquote made it, and they don't even know all the background story of it. I think perfect example, I think I brought this up before, was there's this special on Netflix, like Dirty Money, right? And they talk about Trump and how he basically built his brand, right, by using the media to, like, he told the media that he was a millionaire or something before he even was, and they put it out there. And like, they talked about like The Apprentice and all of that, and how it basically was like a closet or whatever. Like, I'm exaggerating, but how they made it look like something that it wasn't. And so I think that a lot of what we compare isn't even real in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
And so in the same way that it can be a blessing and you can take from what you want from it, it can also be a downer where you just need a break from it because you feel like this person is farther along than you, and you probably did more work than they have. So it's really,
That's
Absolutely.
I think that's the most dangerous part about it, especially for people who are trying to do something with their lives. I feel like now more than ever, people are a lot more sensitive and more insecure than they've ever been before.
Absolutely.
And because you have all these people who are becoming social media stars and self-claimed millionaires and
Insta
this and
famous.
that, and everybody kind of wants that and everything. But ultimately, I feel like you just gotta know who you are and know what you want in life before kind of like, because otherwise it's just really easy to get lost in those things. Like, I really try my best not to get focus on what other people are doing and this and that. Like, I spent a lot of my life kind of like listening to other people telling me who I should be and what I should do and this and that, and it kind of all comes back to what I'm doing now, and just really driving, trying to find my own lane and everything, not really paying attention to whatever other people are doing. I support everybody who's on the grind, everybody who's doing their thing. Success is success at the end of the day. If you're getting your money, kudos to you.
So to piggyback off of that, talk about how you got started, basically.
Yeah, so I've been writing music since I was like 13, or 12, 13. I wrote my first song.
You like 15 now?
Yeah, I'm like 15 now. Nah.
You got a young buck in here sounding got an old soul, bro.
I wish, man. I wish. But yeah, I've been doing music for a little bit now. It's like 6 years. And I just started coming into my own as a solo artist, as nobody. A little bit under a year now. And ever since, but I took basically everything that I learned over those years and kind of like, kind of put that into what I'm doing now. And it's been doing really, really like well, like better than what I expected it to do. Just based off of everything that I've learned in the past.
So tell us more about like Nobody. How'd you come up with that name, and just like your journey? So you started writing when you said 13.
Well,
And so like where do you get your inspiration? Like, do you have to be in a certain place to write? Like, go more deep into that.
I'm a very melody driven guy. Like, I love I listen to melodies more than I listen to lyrics sometimes. But when it comes to my music, I don't know, I'm very, very tedious about what I say and how I say it. Because it's easy to just kind of like do a pop record or do that in like 30 minutes or whatever. But you want to do something that's really gonna make somebody feel what you're saying and everything. So I kind of integrate all that, and I take my time in my process too.
Timeless music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up.
But I integrate all that, and yeah.
Sounding like an old soul, and you like writing or creating timeless music. What do you think about the culture of R&B right now? Or yeah, R&B. Yeah.
I feel like it's compared to hip hop. I feel like R&B should be where hip hop is right now, considering that it's kind of like hand in hand as far as like the influences and everything. But I feel like it's just missing something. It's missing something, or that someone to kind of take it to where it needs to be. Like we all felt like, I personally felt like The Weeknd was gonna take it to where it was gonna be. And when he first came out, I wasn't really like completely on it, but
Or Bruno Mars.
Or Bruno Mars as well.
I
But
thought
Bruno
Chris-
Mars has been pop.
I thought Chris Brown was gonna do that.
He's been trying to.
No, I thought he was when he first came out. I'm talking about when he came out as Chris Brown. I thought that's what he came to do. But
Word.
he has obviously changed. And I think that a lot of the artists you just mentioned, I think that the goal in general is not to be like just R&B, and I think that's the issue. Nobody wants to just stay R&B. Like I thought so too, The Weeknd, but now everyone wants to like cross over and be
to
that
hip-hop.
mix.
Or do
'Cause
they
it's-
want
it's
to
more-
willingly?
it's
Because
more
it's
money.
Well, you have to
exactly,
ask
there's
them.
money.
I don't know.
It's more,
Yeah.
That's the
once
point.
you
I mean,
cross
I'm
over
pretty
to pop,
sure.
that kind of like that helps solidify your legacy.
Definitely. But then you
Basically.
come
It's
away
about getting
from
those
what you
hits.
like to do naturally.
Yeah, but and like I
Organically.
said before, it really all depends on what is more important to you as a person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big J. Cole fan,
Yeah.
and J. Cole he always talks about kind of like how he just wanted to get in it, and then he set goals for himself. He basically like, once I get this, do I need more? Do I want to get more? Or nah, it's just like I'll get out of it now.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I guess it's to each his own. It depends on what matters the most to you. Like, do you want to lose yourself in this? Which people who gain that amount of success eventually do end up losing themselves, unless they take full control of it.
So let me ask you, is this your full time right now? Are you in school? Do you have anything else on your mind, or it's just you wake up, take a shower, eat, start singing?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is my full time. I don't do anything else.
Okay, and this has always been like where you knew what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
So what was do you remember what the topic of the first song you wrote? Like, what were you writing about at 12 years old? A girl in school?
My first song that I ever wrote was it was like kind of like a breakup song. And it's funny because like
just
I don't
happen to break up?
Huh?
Did you just happen to break up when you wrote it?
There was this girl that I was crushing on in 6th grade that
6th grade.
I held on to that for a long time. And this girl I was crushing on in 6th grade, and turns out like I liked her and everything, and everybody kind of like, kids they just be playing all the time. So I liked her, she liked me. I didn't know she liked me. I didn't find out she liked me until after she moved away, and then I moved away, and it was kind of just whatever. So I was always kind of thinking about that, what if and everything. So I wrote a song.
Like
and
to hear it? Here you
I
go.
don't really remember the lyrics. My sister remembers it though. She remembers every single word.
Why? Is she older than you or younger?
Younger.
Pretty sure she appreciates
But
it.
but literally I show her everything. Like,
She probably thought it was the best song.
seriously,
Right.
she calls me and she'll just start singing the song out of nowhere.
That's dope.
Speaking of relationships, how do you feel like do you balance your personal relationships, your me time? Because having that me time is a relationship with yourself. How do you balance that with what you do on a day-to-day basis?
How do I balance my me time with my work?
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure that out. I quit my job 2 months ago, or a little under 2 months ago. So
What
I'm
were you
still trying to figure out my balance. I used to work in hotels.
Okay.
For 6 years. I worked in hotels. But I'm still trying to figure my balance out right now. I like to work out. I like to, kind of get myself on a schedule. I wake up in the morning and I do everything that, makes me happy first, gets me into that mood to want to create.
Absolutely.
Instead of like kind of like forcing myself, like I'm going to write today, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, it doesn't come all the time. So if it doesn't come, I don't force it, but I'll just continue doing me.
So if someone put a gun to your head and you had to choose writing or being an artist or a singer, rather, what would you do?
I'll write.
You would write?
Yeah, I'll write all day.
All day. So
And is it because that there's, I guess, more so, I want to say it's probably less pressure, right, to write because you're not the face of it? Is that why? Or why would you rather write?
Yeah, that's really exactly what it is. I'm not the face of it.
You rather be
Are
behind
you-
the scenes.
Yeah, I'd
Are
rather
you
be behind the
shy?
scenes. Sometimes.
So what are the final moments before you hit the stage? What does that feel like for you?
I just kind of like I just zone out. I don't think about it. I just go and do it.
That's what's up.
I just
no rituals.
because if you think about it, it's gonna be like you're gonna get nervous, and
Yeah.
when you start to get nervous, then it's like you know, if you think about messing up, you're gonna mess up.
So do you have like, is getting signed to a specific label part of your dream goals or in the plans, your 5-year plan, your year plan? Do you feel like being an independent artist is where it's at right now? Like, how is it looking on that side of town for you?
I want to everything that I'm doing right now. I'm doing on my own. If a situation was to come into play with a major, it would have to be right. Like, I'm not the type of person who would be like, oh, sure, label, Sony want me? All right, cool, let's go with it. Let's go with it. 1,500, 15,000, all right, cool. It's whatever. We'll get that later. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm all about my business at the end of the day because kind of rerouting back to the question about where nobody came from. I'm a very, I kind of always, felt like I was, nobody. So I feel like where I am right now, I work so hard to kind of, gain the confidence that I have, in my music and my artistry and everything. Like, I can't allow anybody to come in and kind of mess that up or try to take advantage of me after I've been taken advantage of so many other times. Like, I can't allow anybody to do that.
What about the education of the business? Like, how important is that to you? Learning the business, understanding, how to deal with, managers and, people on your team. Do you take time out for that?
Absolutely. My manager's taught me a lot, about the industry, and we're kind of he's been in the game for a minute, but we're also kind of still learning because the industry's changing. The way people listen to music every day is changing, so we're both kind of learning together and everything. But I think that that's extremely important. Like, anybody who wants to be an artist, and a lot of people don't like to do that. They like to kind of just be the artist and not worry about the back end. But you're going to end up hurt. You're going to end up down in the dirt in a ditch somewhere, because you're going to get taken advantage of. Like, they're going to rip you apart in this industry. And a lot of people don't really understand that. They just trying to chase the bread, but you got to think about it smart. You got to be smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's with anything you do, not even just music. That's in any brand in particular.
Who are your musical influences?
Lauryn Hill. She's that's a huge influence. J. Cole, as we were talking about earlier.
Lauryn Hill is actually about to go on tour.
Yeah, she's doing
And
her.
I see a lot of her fans debating on if they're going to buy them tickets.
Because apparently she's really late sometimes or something.
Or don't show up.
Yeah, I've been back and forth about it. I'm like, I don't know if I want to, but I think I'm gonna still go.
It's the 20th
You don't know
anniversary of
Zion?
Miseducation.
Do I know Zion? Personally?
The song?
Or do I know the song?
No. Her son, they live in New Jersey. I feel like he went.
They
to
live in West
Orange.
Orange.
West
I know
Orange.
people who know Selah and Zion and them, but I don't know them personally. No.
I don't understand.
What's
West
your
Orange, you
favorite
said.
Lauryn Hill song?
My favorite
'Cause you're
Lauryn
about
Hill
to sing
song.
it though.
X Factor.
Ah, damn.
X Factor. X Factor's hard though.
I think what am I? Yeah, I think Zion is probably one of my favorite songs. Only because when I was a kid, my mom's a singer. My pops is a singer too. My aunts and uncles, all their friends, they used to be in the living room. When I was a kid, I used to sneak out of my room, out of the bed, and they'd be in the room just singing Lauryn Hill, that song in particular. The end at the ending of the song.
So they was harmonizing.
Where they're doing the
It's a
care for
beautiful
me,
song,
care
though.
for me. I know you're there for me, there for me, there for me. So they'll be in the living room just killing it. 4 or 5 part harmonies, and they don't even talk about it. They'll just be all right, part coming up, everybody go to their parts, nobody's overlapping over each other.
Nice.
And that was just always fascinating to me. And then
Sounds
as I got
dope.
older, I started to listen to the words of what she was saying. And it's always spoke to me because we all, well, I don't know if we all do, but I know somebody who's been in that same exact situation as she has.
So, if you could collaborate with anybody,
Mm-hmm.
nobody, who would you collaborate with? If your dream collaboration.
Dream collaboration. I don't really think about that, to be honest. I don't think about who I would want to work with. I think about people who I would want to meet.
Okay, we can go there then.
Lauren.
You got to go to a concert.
Yeah.
Just walk up on stage and start
And
singing.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Definitely Beyonce.
So I want to hear you sing, Ross. So what song you feel like singing for us today? Because because Tati here, she's been telling us how much of a good artist you are. And
man.
from what I heard on your social media and from the EPs on Spotify, it's pretty good.
Thank you.
So let the world hear you live.
All right. What you want to hear?
Well, I told you could sing Reasons.
Reasons?
That's fine. That's the first song I ever heard him sing. So
That's
we could
true.
do that
That's
one.
crazy. That's crazy. I actually heard that before I even put any music out. That's crazy. You giving me reasons. Though I got choices, I won't let you know it. Girl, you keep on adding to my reasons. Isn't like we've been talking and our hope is floating up high in the air. I'm hardly breathing, but I'ma breathe in. All the pain and love you gave, but still I'm leaving. So goodbye to my love. You giving me reasons. You go out the way, searching for things, trying to hurt me till I'm bleeding. But you ain't no saint, nah girl you ain't. Cause just like the devil, you's a cold stone killer. Pulling on all my triggers, searching all through my pictures, asking about who that chick is. Oh, swear you love to be in your feelings. Oh, just another thing to add to my reasons. Cause though I got choices, I won't let you know it. Girl, you keep on adding to my reasons. Isn't like we've been talking and our hope is floating up high in the air. I'm hardly breathing, but I'ma breathe in. All the pain and love you gave, but still I'm leaving. So goodbye to my love. Hey.
That's what's up.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so weird singing that song a cappella. Because
Why?
it's a vibe, like with the beat, like if you hear the actual song,
You
it's
sing
like
it-
it's a bouncy song, you know?
Speaking of the beats,
Hello?
who do you collaborate with on the production side of your songs? Who do you collaborate with?
I don't really like have a specific team, but I do have like, you know, the person that produced that song, Reasons, his name is Carlos.
Okay.
Kahi, shout out to Carlos. My boy Jonathan, who's actually from Queens, he produced Used To. And then like I don't really have like a specific producer that I actually work with. I curate my sound based off of, you know, the beats that I hear. Mainly, if I think that it matches my sound, then I'll go ahead and cut to it.
You sounded dope though. I like Reasons. Reasons is dope. When Tati told me you were coming on the show, I had looked up your music and listened to it. Reasons was one of the first songs. I was like, oh, okay, add. You gotta go through all of them. Like, listen, Reasons is up there.
So where are you going to be performing soon?
I don't know. You tell me, cause I ain't got nothing planned right now. Nah.
Well, if you would have an ideal spot, where would that be? Let's talk it into existence.
I definitely want to perform at the Knitting Factory.
Okay.
I want to perform at the Bowery, Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
I want to perform all over the place, man.
That's
Where
what's
is the
up.
knitting factory?
That's in the Lower East Side.
Is it really like a knitting factory, or is it
Nah,
like just
it's
a
a
performance
theater.
space?
It's a venue. It's a venue.
So, when you get love from, I've checked out your social media, and you got artists. I mean, well, not artists, fans of your music, either dancing and stuff like that. How does that make you feel?
Sorry.
Sip some
It's crazy. Like, to be honest, like my name is nobody because I always felt like a nobody. So when people kind of come to me and be like, yo, like your music does things for me, I'm like, yo, I don't know how to take it sometimes.
I feel you.
So, you know, I'm just always very grateful. That's all. Like people who have anybody who ever sends anything that of them doing my work, like I always try to show support to them as well, you know, because you know they got dreams too and everything.
Absolutely.
So I show support to everybody. Anybody who support me, I support you.
Because it's fruitful.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. What do you feel about cannabis? Do you feel like it should be legalized in the state of New York?
Legalize it.
Legalize
it. Yes.
Yeah.
I think it should be legalized. I think, of course, you know, it needs to be regulated the right way,
course,
which I think
of
is
course.
probably why the federal government is having such a hard time trying to get it done. But
Would you say you're educated on it and some of the health benefits or?
yeah.
Okay.
I know it helps with seizure disorders
Mhm.
and anxiety as well.
Okay.
I would use it for anxiety basically.
I've heard of arthritis. It's good for that.
MS.
Lupus, MS.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different things, but there's this huge debate on whether they should bring it to the state of New York.
But
see.
it's
We'll
not
see what
even
happens.
legally. It's not legal medicinally in New York because it's legal medicinally in New Jersey.
Yeah, but not in New York at all.
It's gonna come here.
It's legal
Sooner or later.
medicinally in New Jersey, but it ain't really like. It's not like we can go to the doc. Like in LA, I feel like it'll be easier to
Because
get.
it's recreational in the West.
Right.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
even
why you can go
before
in the
they-
store.
Yeah, but even before it became recreational, I feel like it was still easier in LA to
They
get
had,
it.
yeah, they had dispensaries. They still have the dispensaries.
Well, that's where
Yeah.
420 came from anyway, that area.
Yeah.
But how about? Would you ever move to Maryland?
Why?
Because you can buy a house for $1 in Maryland. $1. Would you ever? Does that sound
I don't
tempting?
know.
A whole house for $1. Like, wow.
$1.
Nah, I got my eyes set on this spot in Nevada. I've been telling myself since I was like
Las
15,
Vegas.
I'm going to buy this house.
My mom was out there.
Yeah.
So you've been looking at a particular house or area?
It's a particular house.
It's not on sale. I mean, it's not off the market. I said on sale. I meant to say it's not off the market
Well,
by now.
Mansions. It's a mansion. Mansions
Oh,
actually.
there you go.
They're on the market a lot,
Especially in Nevada.
often.
Yeah,
Like
nobody
people don't
lives out
stay in
there.
mansions for that long.
No.
Like ironically, people actually stay in like regular houses like longer than they would stay in a mansion because those things are expensive to upkeep.
So why do you want that house?
Because I
You
feel
want a
like
big family?
that's my goal. When I
Just
said
be able to.
I said when I get that house, everything that I have achieved and accomplished will have obviously gotten me to that place. So I think I'll be good.
20 kids.
You gonna
Yeah.
get that house?
20 kids or more.
20 kids.
I'm like,
I don't
you
know
gonna
about
have a
20
litter,
kids.
though?
If you
I
living in
don't
a
know.
mansion, you could afford it, right?
Nah. I'm a
You gonna be scared at night.
I'm a most likely have my mom's gonna live with me probably.
Your mom.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I hear
gonna
that.
live
She
with
gonna
me.
help you out. That's what's up.
Nah,
Just
she-
gonna be you and your mama.
Nah, she gonna live there. Probably some more of my family and stuff. But it's a big house. If y'all see it, like it's a lot of land, a lot of potential.
Scary. It sounds like you need to get some protection. There's a lot of land in Vegas. And
It's a safe
quiet.
house. It has a safe house.
There you go.
Like,
Panic,
what do
a
we
little
know?
panic room.
Yeah, it has a
Oh,
panic
that's
room,
good.
underground panic room.
I was asking my friend, right? Because the new movie is about a different type of an apocalypse.
Yeah,
But it made me think, also because I'm dramatic, it made me think, like,
for real.
yo, what if something happens? Like, what am I going to do? I don't know where a bunker is. I don't know how to build a bunker. Like, I have no survival
Yo, I
skills.
always
How
think
do you
about
guys,
that.
yeah, do you guys
I
think
do
about
think
that?
about
What
that.
type of survival skills do you have? Like, what are you going to do?
I know
would-
how to start a fire in the woods. So I mean, I
That's going to bring the monsters to you.
I be thinking about like the Book of Eli with Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
And he's
I've
like
heard of it.
blind in like this like post-apocalyptic type world. That's what I be thinking. Like ain't gonna be no more vegetation, no more grass, no more
God
green or nothing. It's everything's just gonna be like desert.
Flat.
What are
and
we going to
dust.
do?
I don't
Q,
know.
what are we going to do? You know, I'm going to call you, like, freaking out.
I'm gonna be like, I'm in the basement under
You left your coast? You going to leave your
pretty much.
coast?
Yeah, we off ourselves.
We're going to have a talk after the show. Let's get back to business.
I want to get back to the music real quick. So
Sure.
you just released with M Rose.
Mhm.
So tell me like how that collaboration went down.
Oh, M's like my sister. Yeah. Since I was actually, it's crazy how we linked up. I was a big fan of her because she was big on Vine when Vine was popping, and we were I saw one of her Vines and she was in the studio, a producer that I was working with at the time, and so I hit up my manager. I'm like, yo, M Rose is in the studio with so and so, and he's like, I'm like, yo, can you think we can get in like a session with her, like to do a song or whatever? So he hit her up, and then that's how it happened.
That's what's up.
And we've just been rocking since then. So we were chilling at one of our friends' house, Bay. Shout out to Bay. And she was just like, yeah, I think I want to change the perspective on this song. And she played the song for me on FaceTime originally, and I was like, yo, that song is it. That song is lit, yo. Blah, blah, blah. But it didn't have no features on it yet. So we were all at Bay's house chilling. And then she was like, yo, you want to do it? And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, I don't want to. Like, the song is good the way it is. I don't want to mess it up. And she's like, nah. I want my brother on it. I'm like, all right, cool. So me and another guy, Kurt Louis, shout outs to Kurt too. And we both co-wrote that verse. And that's how it came about.
Did you send in the song? Do we have it or no?
I don't have the song like physically, like it's on Spotify.
But you
and
showed it
everything.
to Tati? Oh, it's on Spotify.
I
Yeah.
played it for you.
Yeah, it's
I
out.
played it for
Yeah,
you.
with M Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I peeped it too.
Give me the
It's
name
actually
again.
dope.
It's called Talk About Us.
Yeah, Talk About
Yeah.
Us.
Talk About Us with M Rose.
It's a dope track.
Thank you.
Y'all gotta
think I
come here
listened
one
to
time and
the
perform
song
it
so
for us. Listen, I want to let the world know where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on social media everywhere at outis NBDY, OUTIS NBDY. My website is the same thing, OUTS Outis, NBDY. I can't spell. Out is NBDY.com.
Okay, and your music as well on all social.
All social media,
streams.
everything is
Okay.
NBDY. No matter where you go, you can search NBDY, and
That's what's up.
all my stuff will pop up.
That's what's up. You sound like a smart gentleman. I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank
coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for coming.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah. So
I got
listen,
some-
don't go too far, guys. We'll be right back with Camille, the comedian.
Yes, get some jokes in.
This is Nocturnal Vibes.
Yeah. This been on my mind for a while, man. I think I lost the real one. And I've been feeling so down when I lay down. The only time I'm looking up. Pardon my manners if I end up hitting you still after dark. I've been drowning in that courage. Liquid, my judgment been blurry. I'm a mess. Get you baggage and made you stress. Know you're better off with the next man, yeah. But I can't seem to let go. So when I hit you with that text, hoping that you give me another chance. I know you need some time. Ooh, can we get along like we used to? Ooh, till we both can't get enough. Make it love like we used to. No, I can't change the fact I fucked up your heart. I'm down to make it all better. Can we get back to love like we used to? It's been on my mind for a while, man. I think I lost the real one. That boy Sean said it the best. Beautiful girls give you their best, believe you depressed and all. But I ain't suicidal. Feel like I'm stuck in a asylum. I know I don't deserve you, but until I get through to you, I want you to know I'm a mess. Get you baggage and made you stress. Know you better off with the next man, yeah. But I can't seem to let go. So I'ma hit you with that text, hoping that you give me another chance. I know you need some time. Can we get along like we used to? Ooh, till we both can't get enough. Make it love like we used to. I know I can't change the fact I fucked up your heart, but I'm gonna make it all better. Can we get back to loving like we used to? Can we get along like we used to? Till we both can't get enough. Just like we used to, yeah. Like we. Can we get back to loving like we used to? Ooh, can we get along like we used to? You can only look at me till we both can't get enough. Ooh, so you got my Lincoln Park, nickname for babies. Yeah, what I'm saying ain't no replacing you. Though the past ain't reversible, I hope you willing to let it go. Let me show you that I can love you more. Genuine, cause girl, I speak the truth. Know my lie just like I'm translucent. See through me and see how to rebel you. See through me and see how to rebel you. Girl, you my shot it. Girl, you my shot. Make it all better. You the only one, so can we make a love? The middle of the night, you the one I want. Can't nobody do it like me, nah. Can't do it like.
What's up, and welcome back to Nocturnal Vibes. I'm your boy Q Christopher. You hear that, Tati? In the building with my co-host Anais and Anais. You know, someone corrected me on that, the pronunciation of your name. Why didn't you correct me on that?
I'm pretty sure I told you. I can't hear myself right now, but I'm pretty sure I told you that
You told me.
it's Anais in English or Anais in
Okay,
Spanish.
maybe. But
I don't have a preference though. That's why.
Okay, cool. I like Anais a little better.
Me too.
That's
So
what's
it's
up.
just like whatever you want to. It's up to you.
Beautiful. Without further ado, the hilarious young lady Camille is in the building.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Yeah, I usually have a blowhorn with me, but
Yeah.
I left it home today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get
Maybe
started,
two.
though, I think that this is such a political statement across your chest now.
Yeah.
Girls bite back.
Girls bite back. We have teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
People
want to
forget.
talk about it a little bit?
I just bought this at H&M or Forever 21. I don't remember. I thought it was dope. It's my favorite color, Kanye pink. I don't know if
Is
you
that
guys
what
saw
it's
his
called,
fashion
Kanye
line.
pink?
I call it that because it was like when his fashion line came out, it was all like this color and neutrals. I was like, I love that pink. It's mine. Girls bite back. I mean, I'm not gonna sit back and be a demure woman because society told me to. I think we all have feminine and masculine qualities, and it's okay to show both of those qualities. And a lot of people are afraid to. Men are afraid to show their feminine side. Women are afraid to show their masculine side because
No,
we've
they're
been
not.
told by society that it's not okay. What's that?
Women not afraid to show their masculinity. Not the ones I've come
Okay.
across.
White women are afraid to show their masculinity. I was told at a young age to apologize for everything and say thank you a million times for
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe that's Utah.
I think it is women. Women are, I feel like,
Yeah.
taught to succumb to men,
Yeah.
no matter what. Especially women who grow up in like a married household, because that's the tradition. I feel like.
Does that give
Yeah.
you material for the stage?
Yeah, I have some feminist jokes. Although it's not even feminist. It's like humanist. It's like, how about like we're all humans and treat people like they're humans.
Right.
Yeah.
They have this thing where they feel like comedians, they can get away with certain things because, they're a comedian. So how do
Yeah.
you feel about certain jokes? Are you stay away from certain jokes, families, talking about
Yeah.
certain individuals?
I try to be smart about how I talk about things because things can be taken the wrong way. I think it's important for us to talk about the things that matter to us as a comedian. There's plenty of comedians who just do silly stuff, and that's great. I personally feel like I have my platform is small right now, but hopefully very big one day, and I want to be able to get people to laugh at stuff that makes us sad and angry, and maybe within their laughter their heart opens up to kindness and compassion, and they can see a perspective through someone else's eyes and start to understand, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't think that way, maybe I shouldn't treat someone that way, but they're able to swallow that medicine because of the laughter that was with it. So it's
Nice.
like, when you feed a dog a pill, you put it in peanut butter and they'll eat it. They
Yeah,
don't
of
know,
course. That was
That's
well put.
kind of like what the joke is with. Yeah.
Well put. So you eager, you're pumped. You get on the stage and you leave with your first joke and no one laughs. Like, how do you flip that?
If that happens, I'll probably go in and talk to the audience because something weird must have happened for them
Right
to
before you-
laugh at my opener.
And that's what you want to tell them. Something weird. Something must have happened before I got
Something
out.
was in the
Maybe not
drinks.
right away because one of the first rules I learned as a comedian is never insult the audience because they'll turn on you. But there's a vibe in the room, and you have to be aware. As a comedian, you have to be so empathetic to what's happening and the how people are reacting. What's their body language? What is their face telling you? And sometimes the last comedian maybe left a weird thing unsaid, or I don't know. Sometimes there's just something weird happening. You got to address it.
Right.
Once you address it and they've laughed at, this thing that made us all feel weird, we've all laughed at it, we can move on. Yeah.
So, when did you discover that you were funny, I guess.
Yeah, like how did you know?
Like,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm funny. I make people laugh. Like I can do this. Like,
Because often, you know,
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty funny, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to go launch a comedy career. So
I never really thought of myself as funny. Even till maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, I was constantly questioning, am I funny enough for
You've
this?
been a comedian for
Am
how
I
long now?
funny? 7 years. It'll be
okay.
8 in September.
Okay.
Yeah. As a kid, I would always do dumb stuff to get laughs. I was hyperactive. I was definitely one of those ADD kids, but luckily my mom was too poor to buy me medicine. So, thus my personality was created. But I was definitely just like overactive and always trying to be goofy. And then like puberty hit and I was like, oh crap, when I act like this, no boys like me. So like I kind of scaled it back for a while. And then I was a dancer. I wanted to be like a video vixen. Like I saw California Love and I was like, I want to be that girl next to Tupac. And then shortly after I found out he had died, so that was really sad. I was like, I had no idea, you know. Anyway, so I was just watching MTV, had no clue. So that was my dream, to be a video
Vixen.
vixen.
You wanted to say ho, but it's all right.
Okay. Oh, I'm allowed to say you said it. Okay. I was like, I don't know what is it. Okay. So I wanted to do that. So then I was a dancer and a singer, and I moved to New York to do like musical theater because I figured if I can sing, dance, and act, I'm more likely to be hired. And in class, they assigned me this like very sort of like not ugly, but just she's a more abrasive woman, this character in a musical that no one's ever heard of, but I embraced it and I took it and it was like this funny pouty song, and I performed it and everyone was laughing the whole time, and I was like hitting this rhythm, this like comedy rhythm that I didn't realize I had, and it just like clicked, and my teacher was like, oh my God, why haven't we been giving you comedy pieces this whole time? And I was like, I don't know, because I thought I wanted to be in Chicago, you know?
I love Chicago.
I was like cabaret, Chicago, you know, the sexy dancer doing like alto songs, whatever. That's what I wanted. Sadly, I look like this, so they always wanted me to play like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, no, that's dumb.
It's not you.
Anyway, so like, you know, soon after that, I graduated. I tried musical theater, didn't work out, so I just started doing stand-up. And like thinking back on it, there was always times when I was being very serious. I was like analyzing a situation, telling a story, and all my friends would laugh at me or laugh at the story, and I didn't realize I was being funny. But apparently I was being very funny, even though I was super serious about whatever I was saying.
How did
Which
that
is
make
still
you
kind
feel
of-
though? Like, because you are really serious, and it could almost come off as people kind of taking you like a joke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how did like that make you feel? And I guess you channeled it and honed those skills, I guess, like out
Yeah.
of that, maybe, I don't know, how did it make you feel, basically, and then how?
Sometimes it was frustrating because I was like, no, I'm being serious, guys. And they're like, yeah, but like the way you said it was really funny. Or I'm a very direct person. I don't like to beat around the bush. So I would say something about whoever, like our waiter, and it would be very truthful. And a lot of the times the best punchline is a truthful statement. And that would make them laugh. And it just felt so good to get a laugh that I didn't mind that they...
Okay.
I was like okay with them not taking me seriously because the laugh is like better than any drug ever.
That's the only time I ever find it okay. When I'm saying something, like I'm not trying to be mean about somebody, it's just my opinion, then people laugh. But like when I'm telling a story and and people are like, oh, like you're funny. I'm like, wait, but I'm trying to tell you something though. Like I definitely get it. Like it's different when you're telling the story, but when you're like just making commentary, it is funny. Like it does feel good to hear people laugh. Like I made you a little happy just for 5 minutes.
What if you found out someone stole some of your material? Like how does that work?
I mean, hope I get on TV first. You know, whoever says it on TV, that's who's got it
first, really.
That's true.
Is that
I mean, it's kind of the sad truth about it.
And that's something that's been going on in the comedian world for quite some time.
I mean, I don't hear about it happening as often now, but I know it definitely happened a lot in the 80s and 90s.
Like stealing skits and stuff?
Yeah, stealing jokes. And I mean, there's a YouTube video out that this guy has a theory that Amy Schumer stole a bunch of jokes. Like her jokes almost verbatim matches this other comedian's joke who is like her good friend. So that's kind of like, ooh.
Because it's kind of like rappers. Rappers are known for rapping freestyle. So comedians should be able to come up there and freestyle and
not freestyle. I mean, you should
They
write your
definitely
jokes.
have something, okay.
You should always have prepared material.
Okay.
Going up there and expecting to get laughs off of improvising the whole time is very scary. You don't know. You have no clue.
Right.
If you're really good at that, kudos to you. And sometimes I'm able to, improv off of a conversation. But there's no guaranteed laughing.
Honestly, comedy is a really male-dominant field.
Yeah.
And I think that she may not have been very, nice about how it was presented, but Monique raised a very valid point when she spoke about her and Netflix.
Yeah.
So as a woman in a very male-dominated arena, like how do you fit in, I guess, and how do you feel when it comes to equality not being served as a woman in comedy?
It's definitely still an issue.
That's why she brought the T-shirt.
That's why I brought this T-shirt, just to let you know. It definitely is an issue. I would say it's slowly getting better. Just kind of like the industry in general has started to notice this, and they also are noticing how racist they are. So it is definitely going into the comedy world as well, and so I have definitely been on almost, I can say pretty much 99% of the shows I'm on, I am one of the only females. Lately, in the last 2 years, it's been way better. There's been at least 2 or 3 other females. And then there's a couple shows that are all female, which is very cool. But the problem with that is then men are afraid to go watch that show, which is weird because it's not like we're all just talking about our hoo-has, okay? That's not our jokes. Though it's not all of them. Maybe we have 1 or 2.
They don't want to hear about themselves either.
They don't want to hear about how horrible they are. That's true.
Yep.
Some women talk about how much they love eggplants on stage. So...
Which is probably pretty funny.
Yeah, so they could be praised as well. I'm supposed to say my IG right now. Follow me at Camille Theobald Comedy. Thank you so much. Okay.
I have a question for you about, because when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of Mad TV with my mom.
I love Mad TV.
Me too.
Yeah, so underrated.
Oh my God, thank you. I'm waiting for them to add it too. It's such a child. It brings me back so much joy, as you can see. But I'm waiting for them to add to like Netflix and Hulu. But how do you feel about comedy, like where it stands now, especially now that if you watched it before and back then you wanted to just be a video vixen next to Tupac, and now you're like, I should have been on Mad TV. Like, how do you think Mad TV compared to now, even from the Netflix stand-ups that all the comedians are coming out with now, which I respect it. Everyone's got to get back in the game, got to get that coin. Yeah. So like, I feel like there's definitely a difference though with like the way the skits that were like, it was just the comedy,
the physical comedy.
Remember that point? No, what's your number video? That was from Mad TV. Can I have it? Can I have it? What's your number? You don't remember that? That was so big in high school.
You dating yourself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes. No, that's what's his name. That is Mad TV. That's the character.
That was
the grown
he was
man.
funny. I love
favorite.
the UPS character.
I don't remember. The Asian one was funny too, but I don't remember the UPS one.
See, but if anyone did that now,
Wait,
they'd be
Mad
called
TV came back for
racist.
a
So
little bit,
there's
though.
like a thing.
Those
There's a
people,
thing
though, that-
happens.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I think they came back for maybe
could even be the
a
same. Like,
season. And they had some.
They did some sort. They wanted to bring Mad TV back. And
I
then
felt like they
don't-
did for a short period of time. They added
Okay.
some new people, and then
Yeah.
I guess it just didn't work.
Yeah.
You were the only one watching.
I didn't even
That's
see the
nice.
new. Where was I when it happened? I
don't
missed it.
know.
I would have watched.
Yeah.
Camille.
I don't know. I think comedy goes through waves. And there are character shows out similar. There's sketch comedy out there similar to Mad TV. I think people are more into, I guess depending, more into like political statements, more into like a social statement sort of comedy. At least that's kind of seems what
Like make the
SNL
tough
is
stuff
doing.
like softer. Like people like
Yeah.
the tough stuff as long as it's kind of simplified or like sweetened.
Depending, I mean, that's what it seems like a lot of sketch shows are doing.
I mean,
but then there's like characters on Netflix, which probably not very many people know about unless you're a comedian who wanted that job, where they do sketches based off those comedians who do characters. And I think their stand-up comedy is kind of getting more popular, and like sketch comedy and improv is kind of, it's a little bit
Combining?
teeter-tottering right now. So like for a long time, stand-up comedy was not really popular, and now it's kind of
Their time to shine.
We're coming back a little bit. We're back in our heyday. But I mean, stuff like what is that? No, I can't think of it. Two Dope Queens is a great show that just came out.
It's pretty dope.
What about Alana and Abby? I can't think of the show, but that
Broad
show,
City.
Broad
That's
City.
sketch. I love Broad City.
That's
It's
a
considered
series,
sketch
but
comedy.
it's that's a series. But to me, that's like one of the funniest shows
agree.
out there. And
how do you feel about chewing gum?
I love how weird it is, but it's definitely like
hard to swallow at first.
it's a weird British humor. It's so weird.
I can't get with it.
I'm kind of into the
Have you
weirdness,
seen Chewing
but
Gum,
you
Q?
can't
One time.
eat while you watch it.
That's all I need. Isn't that
Nah,
gross?
You
honestly,
cannot
you
eat
gotta
while you
give
watch
chewing
it.
gum its chance. You
You
have
gotta-
to.
yeah.
You
It's-
have
I've
to.
watched a
Yeah.
few episodes and I'm just grossed out every
But
time.
you have to think about it. I think you have to think about the bigger picture. Like she's how old, and she's so confused because how, like it's just funny. Like
It is
you're so
funny.
old to be acting this way. Like why are you? You have to think from that aspect.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of comedy too. Like remember, like what is the joke here? Like it's got to be funny somehow. Like
Well, it's kind of like, do you know, like the Ben Stiller movies, How I Met Your No.
the
Meeting the
Fockers?
Meet
Meeting
the
the
Fockers.
Fockers, yeah.
That whole movie, I'm like cringing, like, why would you do that? You know, but that's kind of chewing gum. It's like finally a female of color is in a position where she's not being stereotyped. She's a unique human being with several emotions and in situations that no one else has had that situation on TV. No one else has
Outrageous.
had a woman suck on a man's nose. On TV.
Is this
That
what's
is
happening?
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yo,
does
this
that in
show-
one
one
episode.
of the
She's
episodes.
so
She
funny.
tries to give him like oral, and it's just the worst thing, but it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
Imagine if you were her, and imagine if you were him. Like it's just hilarious. That's why I'm telling you, you have to give chewing gum its chances. And it's only 3 seasons, I think, but she's
Yeah.
coming back in another capacity or something like that.
She's
but,
an amazing writer, and she
yeah,
was.
that's another thing. She
in-
wrote it to herself.
Yeah, it was a one-woman show first, and then this, and I mean, she's like definitely someone to look up
Speaking
to.
of writing, outside of a comedian, you're a writer, a stripper, and I'm sorry.
I was like, wait, where did you find that?
Just,
So-
just threw that in there. And also
It's a family show, Q.
yeah. I write for various things, freelance. I've written like web series for a production company. I write regularly for a radio. It's like we just produce comedy content for radio stations to pull from.
I
And
call you.
yeah, call me. Let me know. I wrote a parody song of Kanye singing his love
love
to
you.
Trump. in harder. Wait, how do we say better, faster, stronger? That song. Harder,
drawing a blank
better,
too.
faster, stronger.
That don't kill me.
Yeah.
It's called
It's gonna
Stronger,
it's gonna
right?
make me
Is
stronger,
it just called
probably.
Make Me Stronger? Okay.
Probably.
I wrote a parody for
Yeah.
that for a
Yeah,
radio
that's what it is.
station. And then I wrote health articles for Elite Daily for a little while. Yeah, so it's like I love writing as well. I prefer to be on stage, but I can write. It is a skill that I have.
Beautiful.
And if I need to write my own stuff, I will. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite topic when in your stand up? Like, what is, because I feel like a lot of comedians, they have like one story that they're just really gung ho about, and they
Yeah.
just talk about it consistently.
Yeah.
I like Tiffany Haddish. One of hers is her ex boyfriend and the sneakers. How she pooped in his sneakers because
Yeah.
he was cheating on her, and
Yeah.
she's like said that like numerous times.
Yeah.
So, do you have one that like you stick to?
I guess in general, I do. I have a bit of a, I'll say it, liberal agenda. So, I mean, whenever you have a joke, generally you repeat it for several years until someone buys it, and then you can't say it anymore on TV. The joke I love to say right now, and it's like my favorite, is I love having short hair because it's a douchebag deterrent. Yeah, because they see me and they're like, ooh, opinions.
So short hair means you have opinions? That's hilarious.
I mean,
I clearly have a lot of opinions, right?
Yeah. Have you ever met someone with short hair who
Interesting.
didn't have opinions?
Interesting.
No. It
I'm going to
doesn't.
use that.
That's
now.
valid. I mean, guys don't like when women cut their hair.
Or
Is
have
that the
opinions.
fear?
Yeah.
Yeah, the opinion.
Yeah.
Or have opinions.
But
Although I got a lot of action when I cut my hair
There you go.
super short. He likes it. He likes it.
he likes to argue, though.
Yeah. Okay. So it all depends on the guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
My ex,
Bigs.
I was thinking about cutting my hair. I was like, I want to do something different. I don't know. What do you think? And he was like, no, I'll miss your hair. And that's like all he needed to say for me to go, I'm cutting it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that predicament right now.
You feel like cutting it? Let me help you out. I got some clips.
I've been trying to cut my hair for a long time, and every guy I've dealt with was like, "Don't cut your
Yeah,
hair."
like don't cut your hair. Anyway, Kathy Griffin. Remember when she came out with that? She did that
Yeah.
picture with Donald Trump. How did you
Yeah.
feel about not just say the whole controversy? Did you feel like she was in her right as a comedian to do something like that?
I think even when it's a joke, you shouldn't wish death on anyone. I think there is, like you asked, what are things I wouldn't talk about?
Okay,
I would
yeah.
never, I would never wish death on someone. Will I write a suicide joke? Yeah. I have one. It's great. I love it. It's a great suicide joke. And stuff like, unless it's an experience I personally have gone through and I can make fun of myself, there was a part of me that was like, yeah, I don't like Trump either. But then I was like, but we shouldn't wish his death on him. He's still a human.
Right.
Yeah, he's an evil person, but like, there's still, I believe everyone has still one little ounce of goodness in them, and we don't know. I mean, Kanye loves it, so
Right.
there's got to be.
Apparently.
I mean, he loves everyone. He did backpedal a lot when he was like, I love everyone. Love is everything. I also love Hillary. Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
I know Kathy Griffin. She's loud. She's a little boisterous as a comedian.
Yeah.
I feel. But they have comedians like that, but they also have physical comedians. Like I feel like Amy Schumer, she might be a physical comedian.
What do you mean physical, though?
Like, doing antics on the stage while they're
Really? What does Amy do on stage?
Amy's not very
No, she's
physical.
not.
I would say Maria Bamford. She's
who's-
very physical because she does weird stuff with her mouth and her face. Like, she had a joke where she just stuck her whole fist in her mouth.
Wow.
That was the punchline. Like, wow. She's amazing.
So what would you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a physical comedian?
I definitely do get physical in the storytelling. But not all of my jokes involve that. I would say, I guess you could call me, I would say I'm a 50-50.
50-50.
50
We can go with
physical, 50 foreplay. I don't know.
Favorite comedian?
Talking. Favorite comedian? Definitely George Carlin. It's definitely one of my favesies.
Jerry Seinfeld. What do you think about him? I love his
He's,
dry humor.
you gotta respect, he's one of the best.
How about Jerry Springer? He's a comedian.
Great comedian.
You don't think the Jerry Springer show's a comedy?
Really?
It is funny. But he's not really part of the comedy part.
Right.
I mean, sometimes he has some funny comebacks, though. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. I have Seinfeld on DVD, and I saw that, and I thought, you know what? I actually like Seinfeld, who he is today.
Yeah.
Do you like Big Bang Theory?
Not really, no.
No?
I don't understand why it's the biggest show in the world. I'm like,
Really?
really? Come on, guys. I mean, sorry. If you like it, I'm sorry. It's
My mother thinks it's funny. So
I like
it's
Big
too
Bang
predictable. I watch it and I know what the next joke is going to be. And the characters, to me, are unrealistic. I want to watch something that seems real. One of my favorite shows right now is High Maintenance because it's so New York. It is way more New York than, obviously, Seinfeld was not even shot there. Sex and the City. It's like way more New York than anything I've ever seen. And I love it. And it's because it's so real. And it's not necessarily meant, I don't know if it's meant to be a comedy, but it's funny and it's real.
this is on Netflix, right? I think I've seen it on there.
HBO,
It's on
I think.
HBO Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I watched one episode. That's when the guy goes to deliver, and the person he's delivering to is in an argument with his girlfriend in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
The Spanish people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten past that, but yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I did
But
want
then
to
he's
as
an
well.
actor. It was a scene the whole time.
Oh
It wasn't real. Yeah.
yeah.
So funny. And then there's a whole episode in the perspective of a dog. It's amazing. You're just watching this dog live his life. It's so cool.
I'm gonna watch
But to
it.
say, I've watched Big Bang Theory. I think the actors are very talented. I just never laugh when I watch it.
How do you deal with the hecklers in the audience?
Oh, hecklers. It depends on the situation, different times. Like, hopefully a funny quip comes in the moment. Like there's been times when like I thought of the perfect thing to say, and it got them to shut up, and it got the audience
To laugh.
There's been a couple moments when that happens, and that's glorious and beautiful. Sometimes you have to find that balance, because if you show any real emotion towards that person, you've ruined your set. You can't get angry, because then the audience sees the serious, angry side of you, which you don't want them to see. Unless that's your bit, like Lewis Black.
Has
That's
it
his
ever
bit.
helped your routine, a heckler?
I guess, I mean, it didn't help. I would rather it not have happened, because a lot of those hecklers are like, I was helping. No, you weren't. You were ruining the show.
So can you, sorry, real quick, please describe a heckler?
Oh, someone who yells out while you're on stage.
Oh, just obnoxious.
Yeah, like if a comedian asks you a question, of course you answer. But if they're like telling a story, yeah, that's
That's
just
a
like
heckler.
yeah. So like in the middle of a joke, and then someone yells out your punchline or yells out something right before you say the punchline.
Eggplant head.
Yeah, it's like, really? Come on, like I was getting there. But then also, if they yelled at your punchline, you should write a new punchline. There's definitely been a time when the heckler was ruining the show, and then my thing that I said got them to shut up, and then from there on, the audience laughed even harder at my jokes because of that thing that I was able to accomplish. Yeah.
Interesting. Improv. You do a lot of that.
Yeah, I do
Can you-
improv
can
here
you
and
teach
there.
us? Can you teach
Can I
us
teach you?
a little improv?
I I trained at ECB. It was fun. It was definitely a good skill to learn because now commercials are heavily improvised, and commercial work pays. So, and voiceover stuff. Improv is a lot of fun. There's not a lot of money in improv. It helps you as an actor and a performer. You get so much more comfortable on stage. I guess, everyone should take an improv class, I think.
So tell the world what actually is improv.
There's different forms. So there's Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is the show that you were mentioning.
Yes.
That is short form improv. They're all games. So there's no like full-fledged scenes played out necessarily. There's like short scenes. I've done that. I did that at Stand Up New York for a little while. They had a Sunday night improv show.
It's 11 o'clock.
And I did that for a little while. But with UCB, they teach you how to kind of basically improvise an entire play, sort of. So they have a form called the Herald. And there's generally 8 people, I think. And you all line up, and 2 people come out. They start a scene. There has to be sort of beginning, middle, and end, and then another person comes out, and they of course someone's supposed to like swipe the scene right at a joke, and then they do a scene, and then another scene happens, and then you have a full group scene, and then you have the second half of that play, or whatever the thing that joke was. Can you bring it back, but with 2 different characters, like bringing that joke over? There's a lot more to it than people think. Yeah.
That sounds intense.
Definitely sounds intense.
I mean, but it's all just saying yes to something. So, like, if you walked into a scene and you're like, I'm a big cat, and I go, yes, and I'm a dog. And then you go, and yes, and I'm afraid of you. I'm like, yes, and I want to bite you. Or whatever it is, yeah. So it's always, like,
Makes sense, though.
being cool with your partner and adding to the scene. Sometimes like beginning improv, they'll start a scene and the person goes, hey, you're a big cat, and the other person goes, no, I'm not. And then that'll get a laugh, but then where's the scene going after that? Now it's just a weird, awkward position where I thought you were a cat. Yeah, I'm not. Okay, cool. Now what happens? Nothing. So you have to say yes,
That is so funny. Like, why would someone say that? It's so funny.
Because
Part of improv, right?
yeah. Because they stepped out thinking of a different idea. But if you're the first one to speak, that's who you're going with. That's it. I did a show with Abby Feldman for a while. We co-hosted a show at Rockwood Music Hall, and we would improvise songs in between comedians. Because I can sing still.
Really?
And there was a lot of moments where it's like I had an idea of where I thought the song was going to go, and she would bring something else up, and I was like, well, shit. Shoot. Damn it. Sorry. Okay. Then that's what happened. Yeah. You guys can bleep all of that out.
It's all good.
Okay.
Good stuff. So when's your next show?
What's today? Thursday. Tomorrow.
Yes.
I have a show at Black Cat, LES. 10 p.m. Saturday, I have a show 5 p.m. at New York Comedy Club, and then a 10 o'clock at Gotham downstairs. Those are the shows this week, and then, more next week.
Where would you like to perform?
Ooh, the Cellar, of course. That's like the god of all. That's like, if you perform at the Cellar, you've made it.
Okay.
That's the Madison Square Garden of comedy. Gotcha. Although performing at Madison Square is also like better, but like you got to get to the Cellar first.
Got you. If Netflix offered you a stand-up series and said, I'm only going to pay you $100,000, would you take it?
How much work am I putting into this?
Would you take that, Q? Netflix? Maybe a mom and pop, but Netflix?
Here's the thing. A whole series, like I guess.
No, just
I would do 15 minutes for 100,000. Heck yeah.
Oh, I'm not mad at that. Or something like David Chappelle did his stand-up.
Oh yeah,
for
he did
an
like
hour,
3 specials, right?
3 specials, okay.
He got millions for that. Yeah,
Outside of
I
the
don't
money,
know.
but is that something that you would love to do?
Of course. Yeah, Netflix is a great exposure. At this point in my career, I am not famous, so I will take $100,000
Gotcha.
for Netflix. Okay, because guess what? After that, people will know I exist.
And more money, more work will come.
Yeah, and the Monique thing you had asked. I'm sorry I didn't answer that question. It is unfortunate. Women don't get paid the same. Sarah Silverman has talked about it. And I think when male comedians actually communicate with their female counterparts about how much they're getting paid, and we're honest with each other with how much we're getting paid, we can better it. And in New York, we have more and more female bookers, and that has kind of helped. And in the world, if we get more of a co-living of genders and races, and the more of an actual melting pot that we become, even though I remember as a kid I was told America's a melting pot. Like, not really. How about we actually do that? That would be great. So that if we actually become a real melting pot, that would be so amazing in all aspects of every industry.
Yeah.
And to do that in comedy, it's slowly getting there, which is exciting. And I think the way that she handled it was not very professional. She could have handled it in a way more professional way and maybe actually have gotten that money. But I think she kind of shot herself in the foot the way she did it.
Yeah.
It did bring up things in public, so that's great, because now we're talking about how an even more amazing, in my opinion, this is my opinion, amazing female comedian. Why is she blinking? She's like one of my favorites. How can I not think of her right now? She was offered even less than Monique.
Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes, yeah. So you know what she did? Produced her own and then sold it to HBO.
Nice.
And got more money. So it's like, if someone's not going to give you the money you want,
Go
maybe
somewhere else, yeah.
go somewhere else, make more money somewhere else, you know?
Interesting. With that said, I want to thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming by Nocturnal
Yeah.
Vibes.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. You're the first comedian. We'd love to
Oh,
have you
wow.
back. We'd love to know where you're performing next so we can actually come and check you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
That'll be dope.
Friday, Saturday. I list all my show dates on CamilleTheobald.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going on tour in Connecticut.
Nice.
Not tour, it's like 2 dates. But
That's
Fairfield,
a tour.
Fairfield, Connecticut, and I'll be in Colorado and Utah and New Mexico.
Well, listen, I want to shout out to the
Brazil.
listeners. I want to thank you for tuning in. You know, self-love and self-care is not selfish. So, keep
Amen.
it, self-care, yeah. I drew a
Take
blank
care
just
of
now.
Yeah, I was
Listen,
like, you okay? Christopher?
And perfection.
Stay
is
physically and
flawed.
mentally geared up, stand firm while keeping it sexy. This is Nocturnal Vibes. Good night, y'all.
We fought it long enough, now let's stop to face it. It's written on the wall, written all over our faces. Don't be scared, girl, come over here. No need to heed permission, but that's in position. Only you, do me like you do, girl, you the truth. Magic City with the moves. You better f me like you got something to prove. Girl, come show me like I'm the only one. Turn the lights out, I'm gonna take you down under these sheets and let you wrap me all night. Girl, I gotta hear you scream, hear you scream. When the lights out, come alive when the night's out. I don't wanna see you anymore. I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. You don't need to be the lights off. I'ma f you with the lights out. I'ma love you till your lights out. sauna in your head, surfing in your wet. Girl, I ain't stopping till you scream your neck, your back. When I'm taking you down, we gotta go round, still wanna pull out. Yeah, yeah. When the lights out, when the lights out. When the lights out, come alive when the nights out. I don't wanna see you anymore. I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. Ain't no need to be the lights off. I'ma fuck you with the lights out. I'ma love you till your lights out. When the lights out, come alive when the nights out. I don't wanna see you anymore. I only wanna hear the sounds of when we make love. Ain't no need to be the lights off. I'ma fuck you with the lights out. I'ma love you till your lights out.